the opening statement. It was about 8 years ago. I was driving to St. Augustine, and for whatever reason, my brain sometimes functions when I'm in the car, and I said, we need a show in this market talking about real estate, bringing real estate agents together, bringing people involved in real estate together, but at the end of the day, really to keep you informed as to what's going on truly in the real estate market here, and made a couple of calls. The next thing you know, this show was off the ground within a few days. Since that time, about 8 years ago, two very important gentlemen have been in the studio with me virtually every day. It's Bob and Ivan, producers here at the station for 30 years. And today is their last program with us, and we're going to miss them dearly. I love you two both to death. I hope you know that. You've been amazing to work with. Always a smile on your face, and we'll just miss you. You know, from the bottom of my heart, from everyone here at You Have Real Estate. Bob and Ivan, thank you guys so much. As they say, the show must go on, and the show will go on, but the show will never quite be the same without you two. So I just wanted to say thank you both very much, and more on that at the end of the program as well. What is going on in real estate right now? And we talked a lot about the NAR settlement and what that means to you. And we almost talked about it ad nauseum, and I thought it was getting boring, but now we're getting to a point where it's starting to get real, and I'm starting to get a lot more questions as to what does the NAR settlement mean for you as a buyer and you as a seller. What does it mean? How can it save you money, or how is it going to cost you more money? How is it going to affect that real estate transaction? It's a great question, and a question that we're going to answer by asking real questions. Every week in here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Kicking it off today with two good ones. I got two great ones. How's that? Earl King is here. Sarah Doyer's here. Guys, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Great to see you.
And sorry to throw the NAR thing at you, because I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I actually kind of briefed you before about, do you mind if we talk about it? You both said, okay, let's talk about it. And Earl, let me start with you. What does the NAR settlement mean for buyers out there today?
Well, that's a great question. And you know what? Let's start off where the commissions have always been negotiable and so forth, and you know, we can't publish it in the MLS. But as far as the buyers are concerned, we need a buyer's agency agreement now before showing homes, and we have to list our commission in there as well. But what does that mean? It means that our fiduciary duty is going to be dedicated to that particular buyer, and vice versa. So we give each other that, instead of like us showing like multiple homes to different buyers, and they go with another realtor. So now they're going to be dedicated to us, as well. But what does that mean? Okay, for example, we go out there, we'll show them homes. We have to have that buyer's agency agreement before showing any homes. So we put our commission in there. They say in NAR, I said a standard 6%. It's never been a standard. It's always been negotiable. Say we put in there 2.5%, in there, and they agree upon it. All the buyers that I work with, most of them referrals and so forth, the serious buyers, it's going to be no problem, because they know the value that I bring to the table and know my duty as a realtor that I'm going to uphold that part of the deal. So I don't see it being a problem, and I do I'm commercial as well, and it's always negotiable in there, because the commissions aren't in the commercial platforms as well, so we always have to negotiate that in the LOI with the broker on the other side. So for me, I think it's a win-win situation for the realtors and the buyers as well.
And Sarah, then, so when buyers are coming to me right now saying, oh, now I have to pay my agent's commission as opposed to the seller, what does that mean?
That's not necessarily true. What we have to do as agents is do a lot of the research ahead of time. So no longer can you just call us and say, hey, can you meet me at 123 Main Street? I think I love it. Yeah. We have to have that agreement in place. We have to call the other agent, the listing agent, see what the compensation is, what they're offering. Does that match our agreement? And is there a shortage? Are they not compensating the buyer's agent? Because if not, then we're definitely going to have that discussion, because the buyer is now responsible at that point. I've always felt horrible for buyer's agents, especially during the pandemic, when you had to make 30 offers before you got one accepted, and the buyer's agent is literally out there pounding the pavement with their client, showing hundreds at times houses, and then at the last minute the buyer could just say, you know what, I found a different agent or whatever. I think this is actually helping buyer's agents in some ways. Well, I think it's imperative now to know who you're working with. You can always interview your realtor. Interview them, ask them questions about the process, ask them questions about their experience before you commit. Yeah. It's important to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
And also, with the reviews, Google reviews, tell them, hey, go check out my Google reviews and then go from there. And then also what is very important, sellers can still offer the commissions to the buyers, so that's still there. So with the listings that I have coming up, after the August 17th deadline, we're going to say, hey, it's preferably, let's go ahead and recommend, commissions to the buyer's agent. Yeah. Why? To bring more attention, to your home.
And Sarah, what does this mean then for sellers?
Great question. I am talking to all of my sellers and saying, hey, this is what my compensation is. What are you offering the buyer's agent? Because, Justin, no one works for free. No, no one does. So what we're just doing is educating them what the process is going forward. And it's just knowing that real estate processes are changing in the future.
So kind of standard in at least Central Florida, the seller has paid 6% split amongst the buyer agent and the seller agent and the listing agent, sometimes 5, but 5 to 6 has kind of been standard. I know it's always been negotiable. What is the standard commission going to be coming out of the net proceeds for sellers as we move forward, do you think?
Typically, and Earl can comment on this as well, but typically it's 5 to 6% in our area. And that does not mean that your realtor is getting 5 or 6%.
Sure.
We're offering that co-broke compensation to the buyer's agent. That's how it's always been. So a percentage is the listing agents and a percentage is the buyers.
It's all a big negotiation. At the end of the day, it's still going to be a negotiation. I think that you're going to really probably want to lock in with a buyer's agent, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Earl, a couple properties on the market right now, quickly. St. Augustine, one of my favorite cities. Tell me about this one.
I tell you what, that's a beautiful property there. It's right on the beach, and that section of St. Augustine, you could actually drive on the beach right
really?
there. Yeah, and it's a current Airbnb, so it has bookings from now to the next year. So, and we're listing it for $700,000. Comes completely furnished, and it has 2 pools in there as well. But literally, you can walk outside, and there's a dock that goes right over to the beach. Beautiful property, the oldest city in America.
That's right.
A lot of history there. You can go on ghost tours if you like that. So, and we did a lot of great seafood restaurants and all.
Maybe a bar or two.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's beautiful. Avon Park.
I tell you what, that's a unique listing. So this is one of those listings where don't judge the book by its cover.
Yeah.
When you get in there, it has a ton of space. In the property appraiser site, it's a 2-bedroom. It has a huge flex room where you can convert it into another bedroom or what have you. They have an office and they have like another room on the side there. But it has a pool home. This one comes completely furnished as well, with a pool table and a stand-up old school video game, Street Fighter 2, a small boat, an industrial-sized generator, which can, when the storms come, if they hit, they could power the whole neighborhood with that generator.
Yeah.
And it has also a brick shed in the back that has AC, which the gentleman, he's a musician, so that was his studio, back there as well. So not only that, it has a additional parcel on the side that is very buildable. So investors, that's a gold mine right there.
Good job. Earl King, is always good to see you. Sarah Dwyer, come back and see you soon. A very quick break. When we return, more on what the NAR settlement means for you as a buyer or you as a seller as you